From Union University, Flow Sports proudly presents Gulf South Conference Baseball. The homestanding Union University Bulldogs taking on Delta State, and the Statesmen and Union played last night, and it was Delta coming away with the victory 11-7. Let me give you the quick starting lineups. I'm Steve Beverly, and I'll be with you for both games this afternoon here on the Flow Sports app. And if you hear a little wind noise in the background, that is because we've got a north-northwest wind of about 14 miles an hour this afternoon. And as an uncle of mine would say, you guys are going to freeze out there today, and that's about what it is. If this was tomorrow, it would be 20 degrees warmer. We are looking at 52 degrees as we start off. On the mound for Delta State will be Christian Clayson, and for Union, taking his warm-up tosses, Eli Snelson, the right-hander. He's a junior. He comes in with a 6.19 ERA, and starting off for Delta State, coming in at 7-5, 1-0 in the Gulf South. Center fielder Wes Warnock will lead off, followed by second baseman Brendan McCauley and right fielder Brett Burrell. Third baseman Dylan Coleman in the cleanup spot. Left fielder Blake Dendy hits fifth. Braden Jones, the first baseman, hitting sixth. Batting seventh, Eric Newsom, designated hitter. Tristan Hickman, the catcher, will bat eighth. And in the 9 spot is Taylor Woodcock. He is a junior and plays shortstop. And in the field for Union, as we get ready to start this doubleheader this afternoon, at first base is the sophomore Grant Ross. Second baseman is Alec Hardy. Third base, Mitch Sisk. Behind the plate is Ben Smith. The shortstop is Dylan Barrett. And in the outfield, we have Matthew Autry in center, Carson Chavies in right field, and the left fielder is Elijah Ramsey. And those are your starters today for both of these teams, and we look forward to, it's a beautiful day. It's just if you look out to straightaway center field, which is about 390 feet away from home plate, that wind is whipping. Particularly, you can see the flag just all over it. We've got gusts going to about 22 miles an hour this afternoon. And standing in, Wes Warnock, the center fielder, getting ready for the first pitch from Snelson, and hope you're going to enjoy being with us this afternoon. And here's the first pitch. And right down into the outside corner for strike one. Union 7-6 and 2-2 in the Gulf South after the loss last night. We're going to do our best over that wind noise, but it is whipping in here in our window. Ball a little low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And we got a good turnout of folks who have made it on this chilly afternoon. There is a ground foul over to the first base coach, and they toss it aside. So we got 1 ball, 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. Way outside, ball 2. I'm looking around to see one of the Bulldog moms, Ann Kale, who last weekend, when it was such a chilly one that she looked like she was bundled up for an Alaskan holiday. It was a cold one. And the 2-2. And he got around on that one too quick, and that goes almost out to the parking lot. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Your leadoff hitter, Wes Warnock. And the 2-2 again. Just a bit low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Delta State did not play a full weekend last week. So this is their first full Gulf South weekend. That's why they only have 1 conference game under their belts. And the pitch. And that one is going to be out of play off to the left. So he's traded bangs with each end of the parking lot. And little by little, they continue to trickle in for the doubleheader this afternoon. And here's the pitch. And struck him out for out number 1. And he waited to get his pitch. He chased one outside, and that will bring up the junior second baseman, Brendan McCauley. And as we mentioned, this is a perfect afternoon for baseball. There's absolutely not a cloud. Well, I say not a cloud in the sky. You don't think there is. There are a few floating clouds around here. And it's interesting that we've had this cold front to come through, and yet tomorrow we're going to be up in the 70s. No balls and a strike, and there's a high fly ball to right center field. The center fielder calls for it and takes it for out number 2. Good running catch by Matthew Autry for the Bulldogs. And in to hit Brett Burrell, the junior right fielder. He'll stand in with 2 outs against Snelson. And we've got Union softball going on also on the Flow Sports app this afternoon, so you can go back and check that one out. And that one's right down in there for strike 1 call. And also Union basketball, Union Lady Bulldogs playing right now on the Flow Sports app. Trying to stay within 1 game of Valdosta State in the standings. That one a little bit high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Wind is calming down just a bit. That one he got around on a bit late and went over into the Delta State dugout. Ball and 2 strikes. Snelson's going to try to see if he can get out of this one 1, 2, 3. And that one's going to the shortstop, and it goes off his glove, and they're not going to be able to get him. It was really a hard hit ball to Dylan Barrett. And they score that one an error. And that brings up the cleanup hitter, Alec Hardy. He's a second baseman, junior. No, pardon me, that is the third baseman, Dylan Coleman. He is a junior. Man on first, 2 outs. Just missed hitting him a little bit inside, so it's a ball and no strikes. We'll see if they send Brett Burrell down at first base. And the throw to first is not in time. That's just one of those keep him honest throws. And they got him back in there again. He looks the runner back again. And the 1-0. High for ball 2. And here we are in the last weekend of February, and you just have to know that it is one of those times that you feel the tug between. That goes outside and low for ball 3. You feel the tug of springtime coming in. We've had days in the 60s this week, and tomorrow up in the 70s, and then by the time we get to Tuesday, 81 degrees is in the forecast. That is true baseball weather. Here goes the 3-0. Right down. No, it's low for ball 4. So after getting the first 2 out, runners now at first and second. And that brings up Blake Dendy, the senior left fielder. Got a little mild jam here in the first inning after getting the first 2 men out. Snelson with the pitch and hits the outside corner for strike 1 call. Taking his time, steps off the rubber for a second. And here is the 0-1 pitch. Little high, 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck, if he's not able to nail him, Braden Jones is the first baseman waiting to hit. Boy, this Dendy is a big guy. He has a tremendous amount of power. And that one's low and outside for ball 2. Runners taking their leads now, and here is the 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3. So you got to know that if he gets the pitch he wants, that Dendy will have the green light here at 3-1. Snelson to the wind. And the pitch. And there's a ground ball to the second baseman and tosses it to the shortstop for out number 3. So there were no runs, no hits, 1 error and a walk, and 2 men left on base. At the end of a half an inning, it's Delta State nothing, and Union just now coming into bat.
Are you looking for a Christian college or are starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
Taking his warm-up tosses for Delta State is the right-hander, sophomore Christian Clayson. He comes in with a 10.5 ERA, and he's hoping to whittle that down this afternoon. He'll be facing center fielder Matthew Autry, right fielder Carson Chavies, and third baseman Mitch Sisk here in the bottom half of the first inning. First of 2 that we're playing this afternoon. When this one is finished, then we'll have another 30-minute break, and then we'll come back for game number 2. And I got news for you. When it gets past 3 o'clock, it's going to get even chillier than it is right now. Just so that those of you who might happen to be in the neighborhood, you'll know that it is not optimistic. We have probably hit our high temperature for the day. It's 52 right now in the hub city of West Tennessee. So here we go. Autry to the plate. And Clayson getting ready for his first pitch. Union looking forward to, if they could get both of these today, to go 9-6 on the season. And that one just a hair outside for ball 1. I'm seeing a lot of blankets being exchanged here in the ballpark, people sharing those. And that one, did it get him on the arm? I think not, because they didn't motion for him to go, but it was so close. 2 balls and no strikes. Bulldogs would love to get this first runner on. And here is the wind by Clayson and the pitch. And right down on the inside corner for strike 1. Got some people with rockers and about 4 layers on over in the bleachers to our right. That's a 3-1 count now, so you figure Autry will have the green light himself on a 3-1 count. And the pitch. And just high, and so he takes a walk. Bulldogs get the first one on base, and that will bring up Carson Chavies, the junior right fielder. And he's going to be batting left-handed against the right-handed pitching of Clayson. Autry is a threat to go on the base pass at any given time. And they fire back to first, and he gets back in there and gets the first dirt on his uniform today. Clayson. Let's see if he fires back to first. No, he's going to be through with this one, and it's outside for ball one. The wind. The 1-0 instead, he goes to first and back in there easily as Autry. They're testing him because they know he is a threat to go. Once again, the 1-0. And he does go. And he is easily going to get in there. Throw was late, and so now the Bulldogs have a runner in scoring position. 2 balls and no strikes. Mitch Sisk, the third baseman, will be next. But right now, let's see how they deliver with Chavies. Clayson taking his time on the mound. And the pitch. Outside, ball 3. And you got to know he does not want to put the first 2 men that he's facing on base. And the 3-0. Just caught the outside corner for strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike, and once again, you got to figure that he's going to have the green light on a 3-1 count. It's like a run-pass option in football. You take your pick. Here's the pitch. High, ball 4. And so Bulldogs put the first 2 runners on, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, senior Mitch Sisk. And they're coming out to have a conference with Clayson. And this looks like it is going to summon together the entire infield as well as head coach Rodney Batts. And see if they see something in his delivery, and also dealing with strategy with Union having 2 runners on and nobody out here in the first inning. And there goes that wind whipping once again. Not quite as strong as it was when we began today, but it's still going at about 10 miles an hour. And it is not going to shift out of the north-northwest today, which means it's chillier than any direction it could go in. All right, Clayson back to the mound. And here's Sisk at the plate. The wind. And the pitch. And a strike call. No balls and a strike. The wind. And the 0-1. That one's high for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners on first and second, and nobody out for Union. And he looks the runner back at second. And he's taking off for third, and they're not even going to throw. Heads-up play by Wes Warnock to get himself to third, and that uniform is going to need all kinds of all detergent to get it clean, but what more does he care because he's already made it to third. So they're now at first and third with nobody out. And the pitch. And that one goes foul down the left field line. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mitch Sisk. And he's got a runner just 90 feet away. Tough situation for Clayson with nobody out. Let's see if he can dig himself out of this hole. The wind. And the 2-2. And just a bit high. 3 balls and 2 strikes, so we've gone full. And very likely the runners on base will be moving with this pitch. Here's your payoff with nobody out. And the pitch. And low, ball 4. We are all jammed. Trotting down to second is Chavies, and at first is Sisk. And so nowhere to put Alec Hardy, the second baseman, the junior. So Bulldogs with a huge threat here in the first inning. And here's the wind by Clayson. And the pitch. That one's fouled behind us here. Hardy has a tremendous amount of power. And this junior can hit to all fields. Here comes the 0-1. And that one is going to be grounded to the first baseman, and he's going to have a hard time getting that one, and he is safe. Everybody's safe, and the Bulldogs with the first run. That was a bang-bang play and very, very tough to handle, the hot shot. They're going to charge an error on that one, but it really doesn't matter because the Bulldogs get the first runner home, and it's a 1-0 game. And part of that threat was the 2 stolen bases by Matthew Autry. And he comes home with the first run. And there's one to the second baseman. This could be 2. Goes to the shortstop and reaches back and does not tag the bag. And that was one of those where he had every possibility, but it pulled him just a bit off to the right of the bag and could not get his foot back extended enough. So the Bulldogs with another run home, and it's 2-0. And ironically, they have done it without getting a hit. And here's the wind. And that one's high for ball 1. 1 out for the Bulldogs, and runners again at first and third. Grant Ross, the sophomore first baseman, challenging Clayson. Nice curveball, but it just went a little low. 2 balls and no strikes. Delta State playing at double play depth. And here comes the 2-0. They go to first with it. Close play, but getting back in there was Hardy. That was Ross, rather. Here's Blake Barrett, the designated hitter. They go to first again. And once again, Ross is back in there. And taking not a huge lead down at first base. And the pitch. That's low and inside for ball 3. So it's 3 balls and no strikes, 1 out, and runners at first and third. And the senior Barrett is in control of this one. You expect he'll take this one all the way. And it goes right down the middle for strike one call. Not a doubt in my mind he was going to take that one. Now Barrett is looking for his pitch. Firing it back to first once again, and Ross is getting the dust to coat his white uniform for Union. He's had to dig back in there 3 times already. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And inside for ball 4, and so they are jammed once again. Barrett goes down to first. Ross goes to second, and standing in, the 7th player to hit in this inning, and that's the left fielder, Elijah Ramsey. He's a freshman. And this is an inning when you have this kind of threat. If you're a Union fan, you want to see them capitalize across the board with still only 1 out. Ben Smith, the catcher, would be next. That one's way outside for ball 1. Fans are shivering just a bit as they are dealing with this. There's a drive that is going to be in shallow left field. That may be enough to get the runner home, and in fact, he does. He scores with run number 3, and moving over to third is Blake Barrett. And moving into the plate as Union takes a 3-0 lead here in the first inning. That's out 2, and so Ben Smith, the senior catcher, stands in. Ramsey is on first. Barrett is on third. That's Ross on third instead. And he digs it back in. A ball and no strikes. Bulldogs making the most of this with this 3-run first inning. And again, they've done so without the benefit of a single hit. And that one's right down the middle for strike 1 call. Clayson has struggled in the early going of this season and is trying to be able to get it back together. That one's low for ball 2. Ball and 2 strikes. And here comes the 1-2. Runner going to second, and he was hit. So they're going to load him up again. So the Bulldogs will bat around in this first inning as Dylan Barrett, the shortstop, comes to the plate. And once again, they're going to have a conference at the mound, and we'll have to see if this is it for Clayson. And it indeed is. They have signaled for him, and his day is done. He went 2/3 of an inning, gave up no hits, but 3 walks and 1 error in the inning. And let's see who the reliever is that is checking in. And we're going to try to catch his number when he turns around. And this appears to be Cade Whitley, He's a senior right-hander. And let's take a break while he takes his warm-up tosses. Union's on top, 3-0. And Whitley is finishing his warm-up tosses. And the Bulldogs have them loaded up. And the runners headed back out to their respective bases. Tough spot for Whitley to be coming into. Bulldogs are batting around here in this first inning. And let's see what Dylan Barrett does, the shortstop. Here's the first pitch from Whitley. And that one is in there for a strike one call. Don't you know Barrett would love to be able to bring in a couple of more here in the bottom portion of the lineup. And that pitch is just inside for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Snelson threw 24 pitches while he was on the mound in the first inning. Clayson threw 30 before he was taken out, and that one is on the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And this is a big pitch, the 1-2. And he got around on that a bit quick. And runners will head back to first and second. There's no such thing as insurance enough when you're playing in college baseball, because it could turn around on a dime. So the Bulldogs want to get everything they can, and that one looked to be right down in there for strike 3, and that is the end of the first inning. But Union sends 9 men to the plate. They scored 3 runs on no hits, 1 error, and 3 men left on base. At the end of the first inning, Union Bulldogs 3, Delta State Statesmen nothing.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
When you hear our name, know that it comes with a promise to give back to the community that built us. A promise to provide a human touch in a world that is becoming more automated. Ever since we put our roots down in Jackson in 1996, we have aspired to be community-focused by supporting programs and organizations that are important to our city. At First Bank, it is our mission to be present in our community and to continue the belief that when you bank local, you get more. Member FDIC.
Your umpires today: behind the plate, Tyler Cook. At first base is Wayne Seeley, and the second base umpire is Dan DeHaan. And I want to salute our crew from Worthy Road Studios, bringing you all the pictures and sound today from Union University. And they include Billy Bolin, Christopher Reasons, Andrew Burris, and the executive producer of Worthy Road Studios, and that is the one and only Paul Schultze. Getting ready to start the top half of the second inning. Snelson back on the mound. And he will be facing Braden Jones, the first baseman, and that one right down in there for strike one call. The junior is
your life, your home,
your business, your future.
Focusing on you, West Tennessee Bank strives to serve its clients in every season of life. With vast experience in personal and business banking, we take pride in guiding you through significant events. At West Tennessee Bank, we help you realize your dreams.
West Tennessee Bank is a division of Decatur County Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. West Tennessee Bank, focused on you.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
You trade in your car. You trade in your house. So why not get some equity back from your old HVAC system? McCoy's Heating and Air will now give you up to $2,000 trade-in for your old unit, plus a free 10-year parts and labor warranty with the purchase of a qualifying York system. That's right. Trade in your old unit and get up to $2,000, plus a free 10-year parts and labor warranty. For a limited time, only from McCoy's Heating and Air.
Snelson back on the mound for the Bulldogs. Still leading 3-0. Missed an opportunity there in the second as they left the bases loaded. My man Andrew Burris right over to the right of me. He is bundling up a little bit more. He's got the hood on and looks like he could be getting ready to go to the Antarctic the way he's looking right now. Just like it looks with half the people who are here this afternoon. Let me tell you, for a day that is in the low 50s, it feels about 15 degrees colder. I'm not sure the thermometers are not accurately calibrated. This is Warnock, the center fielder, back up to the top of the order for Delta State. And Snelson fires, and it's down low for a ball. Only 3 hits in the game, but that one hit the outside corner for strike one. But with the exception of the chill in the air, there is just not a better day you could have for baseball. That one is a drive that is going back into deep right center field. They're going to chase it down. He's going to be in for a double, and I think he's going to stop right there. He's not going to try to stretch it to 3. He put it right between the center and right fielders and gets in for a double. So Warnock gives an early third inning threat for Delta State. And McCauley checks in. He is 0 for 1 so far this afternoon. So let's see how Snelson deals with him. He goes to second, runner back easily. And here's the wind and the pitch. And he's going for the bunt. They're going to have to go to first. They nail him there, but he does his job and gets the runner over to third. So Warnock is only 90 feet away from the first run of the game for Delta State. And that brings up Burrell, the right fielder. He's 0 for 1. Very good sacrifice on the part of McCauley. And here's the pitch. And that one's going to score a run, most likely. They go from second to first for out number 2. But coming home with the run is Warnock. So we got a 3-1 game now, and the base is cleared. And here is Dylan Coleman, the third baseman. He walked his first time up. And right down in the middle for strike one call. This is not one of those days of yore that Dizzy Dean would be singing the Wabash Cannonball. He'd be probably thinking about something a little warmer so that maybe just mentally it could be better. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. And that is going to be lined just beyond, or should say just in front of the right fielder for another base hit. That's the third hit of the game for Delta State. So the 2-out single now brings Dendy up to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Runner at first, 2 out, and the pitch. Dendy goes around on that one. He was going for the downs. He looked to try to get that ball back into right center field once again. There is a big gap over in left center field. That's high and way outside for a ball. If Dendy had a late swing, there's a big area, a lot of acreage out there that he could possibly drop one in and potentially score a run. And that one's a high foul that is going back beyond the bleachers just by a hair. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs and 1 on. Jones, the first baseman, would be next. And the 1-2 pitch is high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dendy steps back in. They got him on a fly ball his last time up. The runner steps back to first. With 2 out, he's not really worried about the runner so much. And the pitch. And that goes down into the dirt. But apparently he went around on it. The ball was dropped, and I can tell that Dendy does not care for that call, but he tagged Dendy, and he is out for out number 3. And so, in that inning, there was 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. 2.5 we've played here from Jackson, Tennessee, and Delta State trails Union 3-1.
The award-winning BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. Over 750,000 views in 2023. We're where you need to advertise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join over 4,500 subscribers watching local sports. The Jackson Rockabillys, Union University, Bethel, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, Sacred Heart, and Peabody. Multi-camera broadcasts, slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. The BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. The premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Back here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning, and a fly out to left field. And here's Ben Smith, the catcher. Whitley has stayed in there after coming in with 2 out in the 1st inning in relief. The wind and the pitch. Just a bit high for ball two. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bulldogs had a threat in both innings. Could not capitalize in the second. That one low down, and it's 2 down, 2 balls and 1 strike. Ramsey hit that fly ball to left field to open the inning, and that one is ball 4. So trotting down to first base is Smith with his first walk of the game. And that brings up Barrett, who is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Blake, the senior designated hitter on this Bulldog team. Hard throwing by Whitley for strike 1. You can see how fast that wind is blowing because the way his sweatshirt is blowing, and he tries to bunt it and move the runner along. He does that, so he gets the sacrifice, but there's 2 down now for the Bulldogs, but a runner on second. And that'll send us back up to the top of the order with Autry. He has batted in every inning. He has walked and scored a run and stolen 2 bases. That was the catalyst for that 3-run first inning, and that one is going to go right to the to the second baseman. He fires on to first. Hard hit ball, but that one hopper, he fired it to first for out number 3. So the Bulldogs leave 1 on base. No runs. You got a walk. And 1 man left on base. At the end of 3, it is Union 3, Delta State 1.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
When you hear our name, know that it comes with a promise to give back to the community that built us, a promise to provide a human touch in a world that is becoming more automated. Ever since we put our roots down in Jackson in 1996, we have aspired to be community-focused by supporting programs and organizations that are important to our city. At First Bank, it is our mission to be present in our community and to continue the belief that when you bank local, you get more. Member FDIC.
And we move right along to the top of the 4th, and Eli Snelson is doing a yeoman's job so far. He has set down Delta State on 1 run and 3 hits. Bulldogs going for win number 8, as is Delta State. Delta State 7-5, 1-0 in the Gulf South Conference. Union 7-6 and 2-2. In case you joined us late, these 2 teams met last night. Delta State a winner, 11-7. And it is Jones, the first baseman, who is headed to the plate. He's 1 for 1. He got a hit his first time up, and he stole a base. Snelson delivers. He got around on that quickly, and hit it down just in front of the Bulldog dugout, or strike one. I don't think I would call this the frozen tundra today, but shall we say it is the chilled tundra. That one low, a ball and a strike. It's 3:20 to the far ends of the field, and that one is fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And to the power zones, it's 335 and then 390 to deep center field. The wind of the pitch, that goes down in the dirt. Nobody out but a ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 to Jones. And again, a little bit low in front of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Newsom and Hickman will be next for the Statesman. And he taps that one foul just in front of the screen. So we'll have another 2-2 pitch. The wind and the pitch struck him out. Had a sinker there, and so we got 1 out here in the 4th. And we'll remind you, all of you here on the Bulldog Network, that be about 30 minutes between games when we come back for the second contest of this doubleheader. And the wind and the pitch. And it caught the outside corner for strike 1. So far, Snelson appears to have his stuff today. And the 0-1. And that one is going to be a fair ball. Just got inside the line. And he's going to be in with a stand-up double. So Newsom does the job. He went with the pitch and got it just inside the chalk line. And so he'll be down at second in scoring position. And here's Tristan Hickman, the catcher. He walked his first time up. And here is the first pitch to Hickman. Inside for a ball. You got to figure Newsom is a threat to go. Here comes the wind and the pitch. And up a little bit high. 2 balls and no strikes. Woodcock, the shortstop, will be next. That one's in there. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the wind, and that's up just high. 3 balls and 1 strike. You can also see Union softball on the Bulldog Network this afternoon. And he goes back to second. Almost threw that ball into the outfield, but heads-up job by Hardy to hold on to it. So once again, the 3-1 pitch. And got him to swing. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So this is going to be a big payoff pitch for both teams. The 3-2 from Snelson. And he got him swinging on that one. Dipped a bit low, and he went high. So it is 2 outs now with a runner on second. Woodcock, the shortstop.
Now batting the shortstop, number 3, Taylor Woodcock.
He's 0 for 1. We're in the top of the 4th here from Jackson, Tennessee. And the pitch. Just missed for a ball. We're right here just adjacent to the traditional buildings on the campus of Union University, and a little bit outside of our camera range are the newer buildings, and that one is fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Are the newer buildings that have been built in the last 25 years or so that have been highlighted by the Lagos Library that has been such an iconic building in the entire city of Jackson. A ball and a strike in the pitch. And that one is tapped high. They're going to have to hurry to get that one. Fires on to first. Good quick release on that by Hardy. Over to Ross to get him for out number 3. So, no runs, a double that was wasted, and no hits, and 1 man left on base. So we have played 3.5. Union still on top, 3-1.
Are you looking for a Christian college or are starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
Is now in starting his 3rd full inning in relief. He replaced the starting pitcher Christian Clayson, who only lasted 2/3 of an inning. So we're going now to the bottom of the 4th. And so far, this has been somewhat of just steady workmanlike game so far, with most of Union's action happening in the 1st inning, and Delta State trying to get a rally going and was held to 1 in the 3rd. And this is Chavies, the right fielder. He's 0 for 1, but he has walked and scored a run. Ball and no strikes. And that one's high and outside, ball 2. Because the season starts in February, these guys are accustomed. I mean, they've got 13 games under their belt, and they're accustomed to playing in these kinds of conditions. A lot of people think that it is only above the Mason-Dixon line. You get up somewhere around Ohio, Michigan, places like that, that's the only places that it's freezing cold to play. No, try doing it in West Tennessee, until we get really to March, and you can still have some freezing afternoon and evening contests during that time. I have called some, and he gets the walk and goes on down to first base. I have called some in this region in recent years that even into April we were bundled up with toboggans and about 4 layers of clothing just to call a game, particularly a night game. Mitch Sisk, the third baseman, he is 1 for 1. He's also walked. He scored a run. And they throw back to first, and not in time. Union has led it all the way after the 3-run first inning. And they, again, are respecting Chavies on the base paths. He looks him back again at first. And the pitch. That's going to be low. It didn't get away far enough for him to try to steal. A ball and no strikes. They go back to first once again. So far, Whitley has thrown 41 pitches in the game. Snelson has thrown 75 for Union. And he got him to go around on that one. A ball and a strike. Union has left 7 men on base. Delta State has left 5. And that's the 4th throw over to first. They must really believe that Chavies is going to take off. He looks him back again. And the pitch. And a slow tap foul. A ball and 2 strikes to Sisk. Hardy, the second baseman, will be next. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the 4th. And you got Chavies taking his lead once again down at first. And that one just a shade high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the wind and the throw back to first. And it gets away, and he's going to make it. And he may try to go to third because that ball got so far away, and he, in fact, got a 2-base error on that. Heads up base running by Chavies. Well, they thought he was a threat, and so they threw over 5 times, and then finally on that 5th throw, it got beyond first base, and he managed to go all the way from first to third. So Union with a runner 90 feet away, the 2-2, and there's a high fly ball that's going to center field. That's going to score a run. Perfect sacrifice fly by Sisk, and coming home with the 4th run is Chavies. Nice job of hitting. There's 1 out, bases cleared, but Union now on top 4-1, and on the benefit of only 2 hits. But they've bunched together some walks, errors, and have successfully navigated their way to a 3-run lead once again. And here's Hardy at the plate. Outside for a ball. Hardy is 1 for 2. He's got an RBI this afternoon. That one's high. 2 balls and no strikes. Whitley is getting close to the 50 pitch mark in the game. He's thrown 28 strikes. And that one just a bit outside. 3 balls and no strikes. And you figure that Hardy is going to be taking this pitch all the way. The wind and the pitch. Went right to the inside corner. 3 balls and a strike. Now, being the cleanup guy, you got to figure that if he gets the pitch he likes, he'll have the green light. And he just takes it all the way and is headed down to first with a walk, and that will bring up Ross. Grant Ross, the sophomore first baseman. He is 0 for 1, but he has an RBI, and he got on base with a walk earlier. Union has had base runners in every single inning. 1 out and the pitch. Low, ball 1. And they're figuring Hardy is another threat to go as well. He's getting a pretty good lead down at first. And the pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. Union with 3 in the first and 1 here in the fourth. Delta State got its run in the third. And a pitch. There's a high fly ball going deep to right field, and that ball is out of here for a home run. A 2-run homer. And here they come trotting home. It is going to be a 6-1 game. 6 runs on 3 hits for the Bulldogs. And a tip of the cap as Grant Ross sends one over the right field wall for a home run, and it is a 6-1 Union lead. And here's the designated hitter, Barrett. And that was a little bit of a warm-up and a wake-up call for the fans. And he goes around on that one, got him just beyond him, and it dipped for strike 1. Barrett is 0 for 1. He has walked as well. And hits that one sharply into the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. Ramsey, the left fielder, would be next. And the pitch. And a slow ground ball to third base. Makes the long throw to first, the stretch, and out. Number 2. And that, in fact, will bring up Elijah Ramsey, the left fielder. He has an RBI in the game. 0 for 1. That 2-run homer by Ross really sent things reeling for Delta State at this point, but don't kid yourself, they're a team that's known for comebacks. And that one hit the outside corner. It's an 0-2 count to Elijah Ramsey. Smith, the catcher, would be next. But we'll have to wait on him until the 5th inning because Ramsey struck out on 3 pitches. So, for Union, 3 runs on 2 hits and no errors and no one left on base. The big one was the 2-run homer over the wall by Grant Ross. He's got 3 RBIs now. So we have completed 4. Union leads it 6-1.
Your life. Your home.
Your business. Your future.
Focusing on you, West Tennessee Bank strives to serve its clients in every season of life. With vast experience in personal and business banking, We take pride in guiding you through significant events. At West Tennessee Bank, we help you realize your dreams.
West Tennessee Bank is a division of Decatur County Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. West Tennessee Bank, focused on you.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Eli Snelson is standing in for his fifth inning of work. He's thrown 75 pitches and 45 strikes. Been very effective today, and he's been staked to a 6-1 lead with a bit of a cushion after that home run to right field by Grant Ross. 2-run homer to make it a 6-1 Union lead. Union 6 runs on 3 hits and 1 error. Delta State 1 run on 4 hits and 2 errors. So leading off in the inning, we're back off to the top of the order with Warnock, the center fielder. He is 1 for 2, scored a run, the only run that Delta State has, and he struck out once. That one's outside for a ball. Remember, it's doubleheader action this afternoon, so we'll have about a 30-minute intermission between this one and when we get ready for the nightcap of this doubleheader. I don't know why we call it a nightcap if it's in daylight, but that's typically what you say about a doubleheader, that it's the nightcap. It doesn't sound right if you call it a day cap. Here's the pitch, and that's in there for strike one. 2 balls and 1 strike to Warnock. McCauley, the second baseman, and Burrell, the right fielder, also due up here in the 5th. That one a little bit high. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the wind and the 3-1. And that's in there on the corner for strike 2. So we got a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out for Delta State. And the center fielder awaits the 3-2 pitch. And that one fouled back to the screen. So it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Snelson delivers. Outside, ball 4. And so Warnock goes down to first. And that will bring up Brendan McCauley, the second baseman. McCauley officially today is 0 for 1. And we're going to have a conference on the mound. Snelson's thrown a good many pitches. He's not quite at a pitch count limit, but they're just trying to be sure they don't see something in his delivery that may indicate that he's getting tired. He's thrown 82 pitches so far in the game. And I think they'd like to let him get at least through this inning. And particularly with a 6-1 lead, they want to try to protect that as best they possibly can. And here comes McCauley. Runner on first and nobody out here in the top half of the 5th. High, ball 1. Some of his pitches have been up a bit in this 5th inning. His counterpart, Whitley, has thrown 64 pitches since he came in relief with 2 outs in the first inning. The wind and the pitch. Right down in there for strike one call. Ball and a strike. Delta State has had 4 hits, but they've only been able to get 1 runner in. Union has scored its 6 runs on only 3 hits, but Union has had 8 walks in the game. That one right down in there for strike 2. Snelson has walked 3 and struck out 5. Fires to first. And he's been at it all the way. And the pitch. High foul. That's going to be out of play. That crashes like a poached egg over into the dirt area to the right of our vantage point. So everybody steps back in as we rewind the tape, and another 1-2 pitch on the way. Firing to first once again, trying to keep him close. And the pitch coming to McCauley. And that was low down into the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good job by the catcher Smith to block that one and to keep the runner from moving. And here comes the 2-2. And that's fouled off once again, and that's going to go over in the same direction as his previous high foul. Delta State scored its run in the 3rd, Union 3 in the 1st, and 3 in the 4th. And we are now in the top of the 5th with nobody out and a runner on first. And that's low. So he's gone full on him. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Snelson getting close to the 90 pitch mark now. And here comes the 3-2. And he got around on that one a bit too quickly, and that goes down to the Union bullpen. Three balls and 2 strikes. And we'll wind it up again. Union trying to even up this weekend series at 1-1. And the pitch. And that's going to be to the shortstop. They go to second for 1. On to first. It's not in time. Came close to a double play, but they got the lead runner at second. And that will bring up Burrell, the right fielder. He is 0 for 2, but he had a sacrifice fly for the RBI that gave Delta State its only run. They have 1 out here in the 5th and a man on first. And that one right down in there for strike 1 call. There are a couple of guys over here in short sleeves. I take my hat off to them. I'm not sure that they are all that comfortable. Temperature has stayed right at 52 degrees since we started. The wind is not quite as strong as it was when we first started, when it was blowing at about 14 miles an hour out of the north-northwest. We're not feeling, I don't know whether it's we're not feeling it as much or we've just become accustomed to it up here in the press box. My man on camera over here, Christopher Reasons, the only thing I can say about him is that he looks like his face has been in an ice box. I'm sure he appreciated me telling that about him. Here we go with the 0-2 pitch. A high fly ball going to deep left field, but the left fielder is underneath it, and Ramsey takes it for out number 2. He gave that ball a little bit of a ride, but it didn't quite get back to the warning track. Two down now, still with the runner at first. Snell, there's another drive. That one is going to drop down, and that may score a run. I think you're going to hold him at third. It's a stand-up double. Coleman went with that pitch and made it fly, and it went beyond the range of the left fielder. And so Delta State with the threat now. There's two down, but they have runners both in scoring position at second and third. And here comes Dendy. He's 0 for 2. He has struck out once. He wasn't really thrilled with the strikeout call. That one, he tore out on that one, but that's over in the parking lot. I hope it is not far enough that it has attached itself to a car. And we've been at it about 90 minutes here at Union University. That one is outside for a ball. This is the guy you want to be able to get because you really don't want to gamble on putting him on first and having to deal with the bases loaded. And he just went right with that pitch, and it's going to drop between the left and center fielder, and 2 runs have come home, and the 2-run single for Dendy makes it a 6-3 game. And that was a case of literally just going with the pitch, and he just laced it right between the left and center fielder. And the runners were moving on the pitch, so each one of them came in. 3 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors now for Delta State. 6-3-1 for Union. So it's 2 out, runner on first, but 2 runs are in for Delta State. He went around on that one, so strike 1 for Jones. Jones is 1 for 2. He has struck out once and stolen a base. Dendy is a threat to go, and he's trying to get a big lead down there. Fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes. Snelson has thrown 100 pitches in the game now. And here is the 0-2. And struck him out on 3 pitches. And so they get out of it with only 2 runs, but it was 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors and 1 man left on base. So we have completed 4.5. Union still leads it 6-3.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
You trade in your car. You trade in your house. So why not get some equity back from your old HVAC system? McCoy's Heating and Air will now give you up to $2,000 trade-in for your old unit. Plus a free 10-year parts and labor warranty with the purchase of a qualifying York system. That's right. Trade in your old unit and get up to $2,000. Plus a free 10-year parts and labor warranty. For a limited time, only from McCoy's Heating and Air.
at a frigid Jackson, Tennessee this afternoon. The temperature may say 52 degrees, but the wind chill this afternoon is 40. So we'll take the wind chill because that's what it really feels like. And checking in at the plate is Ben Smith, the catcher. Union gave up 2 in the top half of the 5th inning, but still leads it 6-3, and that one was low for a ball. As we mentioned, against a Delta State team, there is no such thing as a cushion. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Whitley has been very, very effective in most of his innings. He came in with 2 out in the first after Clayson had given up 3 runs, and they decided to take him out. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch is low, 3 balls and 1 strike. So Smith, who has walked once, he doesn't have an official time at bat today, is taking the 3-1. And on the inside corner, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Barrett and Autry scheduled up as well in this half of the inning. And that one just inside. So it is ball 4, and he heads down to first with his second walk of the afternoon. Dylan Barrett, the shortstop, and he is officially 0 for 1. He has a strikeout. And the pitch, and a high, this is a high fly ball, and they're having to shade their eyes out there. Shortstop came up with the catch, because this is a very bright sun that they're looking into. Even though it is past 2:30 in the afternoon, it's not that far down in the sky that, you are really staring right at it, and he did a good job of keeping it in view. Matthew Autry up for his 3rd at-bat of the game. He scored a run and walked, and he stole 2 bases in the first inning in that 3-run first for Union. Took a strike. The 0-1, low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Smith down at first. And he went around on that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Union would love to be able to get at least another one on the board here. And nice curve, but it was just a bit high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Union has done all of its damage on only 3 hits. And that one is going to be a bouncer to the third baseman, who fires to second. Well, they called it a foul ball. So he's going to step back in there. And it's a 2-2 count. So Autry stays alive. Apparently it hit down on the plate before it went to the infield. And the 2-2. Just low. No, he called him out on strikes. A little bit of a delayed call. That was for drama. You have to think that. If they delay the call, it's for dramatic effect. So that is out. Number 2. And that's the 4th strikeout of the game for Delta State. So Chavies, who had a big part in that 3-run extension in the 4th inning, is back up. Chavies has scored twice today. Ball and a strike with 2 out. Chavies has walked twice. He struck out once. Runner on second, and he fouls it back. He'd love to be able to drop this runner in. Runner taking the lead at second. Ball and 2 strikes. That one's down in the dirt, but he's not going to try to get away and move down to third. It did not get away far enough. They would have probably pulled him off like a dead duck. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 on. And we are in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And Whitley's getting somewhere close to about the 85 pitch count. And that one's fouled out of play. Going back over into the dirt before you get to the parking lot here. Gulf South Conference baseball, and perfect time of year for it. If it was tomorrow, it would be 20 degrees warmer according to the forecast, and that one is fouled just over to the Delta State dugout. I'm dead serious. We got a forecast of 72 degrees tomorrow, and then about 75 Monday and 81 on Tuesday. But this happens to be the day we're playing the doubleheader, and we are all chilly. And he struck out for out number 3. So it was no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. And so we are now at the end of 5, and Union continues to lead 6-3.
The award-winning BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. Over 750,000 views in 2023. We're where you need to advertise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join over 4,500 subscribers watching local sports. The Jackson Rockabillys, Union University, Bethel, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, Sacred Heart, and Peabody. Multi-camera broadcasts, slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. The BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. The premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Well, that wraps it up for Snelson, who threw 101 pitches. He gave up 6 hits. He struck out 6 and walked 3. And he leaves the game with a 6-3 lead for Brody Mann, the freshman who is coming in relief. And he's taking his warm-up tosses. Of course, the big blow in this game was a 2-run homer by Grant Ross. And that extended a 4-3 lead to 6-3 back in the 4th inning. And we're about to hit the top half of the 6th. Union has left 8 men on base, Delta State 6. And Whitley has done a good job, even though he gave up the 3 runs in the 4th inning. He's done a good job of settling things down for this Delta State team. He's thrown 83 pitches, 48 of them strikes. And this is Newsom standing in, the designated hitter. And he takes that one for ball 1. Hickman and Woodcock are also due up. Newsom 1 for 2. He struck out once. Pitch inside, nearly hit him. 2 balls and no strikes. So man trying to get a save here for Snelson. Hickman stands back in with a 2-0 count. I see a few more hoods up in the stands now in our direction, way outside for ball 3. So Hickman faces a 3-0 count. He's over 1 today with a walk and a strikeout. And got it in the corner, 3 balls and a strike. And you got to figure that if he gets the pitch he likes, he'll be going for it on this one. And man fires way outside for ball 4, so he walks the first man he faces. Newsom there, and Hickman is next. 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout. So he'll be hitting right-handed against the right-handed pitching of Man. Ooh, just about over the head. 1 ball and no strikes. Man's been having a little bit of control problems, and they're going to go out to talk to him. In fact, this is going to be a, shall we say, massive conference. Everybody except for the guys in the outfield are out to talk to Brody. This afternoon for Union, Ross has 3 runs batted in. Hardy 1, Sisk 1, and Ramsey 1 over for Delta State. Burrell with an RBI and Dendy with that 2-run double that he hit. And the pitch. That bounces up in front. And advancing to second was Newsom. Smith had a hard time finding where that ball had gone. So it's a 2-0 count. And nobody out, a runner on second for the Statesman. Man delivers. He got it right down the middle for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. All right, here goes the freshman with his 2-1 pitch. And that one's high. 3 balls and 1 strike. Wants to try to avoid walking the second straight man. And that one high, so he has put 2 men on base immediately. And that will bring up Woodcock, the shortstop, who is 0 for 2 today. And Union's going to play back at double play depth. And tried the bunt and missed for strike one. You got to know Woodcock, the shortstop, would love to move these runners up to second and third and get them in scoring position and potentially give Delta State an opportunity to close this gap to within one. And there you go, and it's foul. The defense was ready for that potential bunt situation. Third baseman was headed down the line, and shortstop was headed over to cover third. Now it's no balls and 2 strikes, but nobody out and runners on first and second. Man delivers the 0-2. Down in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Man is from Fairview, Tennessee. He's 6'3". They've got a lot of promise for him, but he's being asked to deliver a lot right now. And that one got around on it too quick, and it rolls down beyond the Bulldog dugout. So we'll go for a 1-2 count once again. The wind and the pitch. And that gets away from him. That's going to move the runners up to second and third without the need for a sacrifice. So he's gone 2-2 after walking the first 2 hitters. Union has led this one all the way, but right now things are looking in somewhat jeopardy. The wind and the pitch, outside and low, ball 3. Warnock, the center fielder and the leadoff man, would be next. Here comes the 3-2. Low for ball 4. He has walked all 3 men that he has faced, and that could be all for him because they are signaling to the dugout and to the bullpen. So that is going to be all for Man. He came in with a 6-3 lead, and it looked as though he was having control problems right from the get-go, and has walked all 3 men that he faced. And this is going to be a tough situation in relief. So they've made the call to the bullpen. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back to tell you all about who's here in relief.
Are you looking for a Christian college or are starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
It is the junior, Jake Jewell, who's got a tough act here because he is facing the bases loaded with nobody out. We are in the top half of the sixth. Union on top 6-3. But it is going to be a tough call for him to try to be able to settle this down without one or more runs coming in. And the book on man is that he threw 17 pitches and could not get anyone out. He had 3 walks, and that has led to the bases loaded. And frankly, it has been, during the course of this game, walks or errors that have led to 2/3 of the runs being scored in this contest so far. Jewell is a junior. He's a right-hander. And he is from Lebanon, Tennessee. Went to Lebanon High School. He's a 6-footer, 180 pounds. And here's Warnock. He's 1 for 2. He's scored a run, he's walked, and he is struck out. One-oh count. There's no place to put him. Jewell delivers. Down low. 2 balls and no strikes. This has been a long top half of the 6th inning. And the pitch. Outside, 3 balls and no strikes. And you've got to believe that Warnock is going to be taking this one all the way. And it's down low, and 4 straight walks have led to the 4th run coming in for Delta State, giving RBI to Warnock. 4 runs and 6 hits now for Delta State, and the bases still loaded and nobody out. It's McCauley, the second baseman. He's 0 for 2, but he did score a run. And the pitch down low for a ball. And that one high, ball 2. So it has been 6 straight balls that have been tossed here in the 6th by Jewell. The wind, the pitch. Gets one in there for strike 1. Delta State with a major threat to blow this one open, even though they still trail by 2, but they have nobody out, and the base is loaded, and that one's going to get away. That's making it a 6-5 game. You got runners on 2nd and 3rd, and it's now a 3-1 count. So it has been a case of 4 walks and a wild pitch. And here we go with the 3-1. And that's lined to the shortstop. That's going to go to 3rd, and they can't get him. They took a risk and went to 3rd and could not get the tag, and the tying run has come home, and it is a 6-6 game, and Delta State still has nobody out with runners on 1st and 3rd. And here comes another conference to the mound. And whatever you want to call it, this has been a nightmare third inning. It's still a tie game, but with runners on first and third and nobody out, Delta State has just opened the floodgates here, and it appears that we're going to have another pitching change. Jewell comes out. And we'll see now who is going to be warming up. Let's take another break as we have a call to the bullpen, and we'll be back to tell you about him in a moment.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
When you hear our name, know that it comes with a promise to give back to the community that built us, a promise to provide a human touch in a world that is becoming more automated. Ever since we put our roots down in Jackson in 1996, we have aspired to be community-focused by supporting programs and organizations that are important to our city. At First Bank, it is our mission to be present in our community and to continue the belief that when you bank local, you get more. Member FDIC.
Well, it's junior right-hander Ryan Evans. He's from New Bern, Tennessee, went to Dyer County High School, and he's coming in again in another unenviable position. Nobody out, runners on first and third for Delta State, and they have 3 runs that have come in, all on the basis of walks and a wild pitch. And it has been a tough one for the Bulldog pitching staff after Snelson retired at the end of the 5th after throwing 105 pitches, 101 pitches, but it really doesn't matter at this stage of the game. And checking in now is Burrell. Burrell is 0 for 3, but he did have an RBI. He's got a runner in scoring position and 1 at first. And that one down low. It has been an inning of control problems for the Bulldog bullpen. The wind and the pitch. That one gets away, and the runner's going to make it down to second. So that wipes out the chance for the double play. This is one of those situations that, had that runner not advanced, Union probably would have given up the 7th run if they could have navigated the double play. And swung and missed at that one. 2 balls and 1 strike. We're all tied at 6. Union had led virtually all the way until we got into this 6th inning. And here's the wind and the pitch. It's low. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Burrell being very patient, as he can well afford to. The pitch just high, and so bases are loaded once again. And it has been a case of walk after walk in this 6th inning. So that brings up Dylan Coleman, the third baseman, with nobody out and the bases jammed. And that one's inside for ball 1. Evans taking his time on the mound. And he fires. Up high, 2 balls and no strike. Once again, nowhere to put Coleman. Warnock is at third. McCauley is at second. Burrell at first. And the pitch. And that one is going into left center field. 2 runs are going to score. And a 2-run single for Coleman gives Delta State its first lead at 8-6. It has been a 5-run inning. And those bases on balls and clumps will do it to you every single time. And here comes Dendy, the left fielder. He's 1 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. He struck out once. But right now, runners at first and second, and still nobody out for Delta. 5 runs have come in this 6th inning. The stretch and the pitch. And he went around on that one. A ball and a strike. Bulldogs trail by 2 now. And the pitch. That one's going down to first. He fires to second for 1, goes to first, and they can't get the second play. But Union finally gets a runner out. And the runner advances to third.
Now batting the first baseman, number 13, Braden Jones.
And here's Jones, Braden Jones, the first baseman, a junior. 8 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for Delta State. 6-3-1 for Union, and that one is low down in the dirt for ball 1. Still only 1 out with runners on first and third. And the pitch. Just missed him on that one. 2 balls and no strikes. Union pitchers have now given up 9 walks today, 8 for Delta State. And he delivers, and that one is inside. 3 balls and no strikes. And if you're Union, this has indeed been a twilight zone inning. The pitch. In there for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike. And here goes the wind and the pitch. And he went around on it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Evans and Jones will tee it up again with a payoff pitch. And that one just got it off of the corner of the bat. And it was back to the screen. So we'll rewind the tape and do it one more time. And the pitch. And that one's going right up the middle, but it's picked up by the second baseman on to first for the double play. Second baseman unassisted at second and fired on to first for the double play, and Union gets out of it without any more damage. But 5 runs crossed the plate on 3 hits, no errors, and there were 5 walks in the inning. 5 runs come in for Delta State, and the Statesmen lead it 8-6.
Your life. Your home.
Your business. Your future.
Focusing on you, West Tennessee Bank strives to serve its clients in every season of life. With vast experience in personal and business banking, we take pride in guiding you through significant events. At West Tennessee Bank, we help you realize your dreams.
West Tennessee Bank is a division of Decatur County Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. West Tennessee Bank, focused on you.
Can I get some help? What just happened?
So happy.
Oh.
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Well, Whitley back on the mound, and ever since that first inning when he came in with 2 outs, he has trailed until his teammates gave him 5 runs in the 6th, and it's now an 8-6 game. Delta State on top. And that's a ball outside and low. Whitley had thrown 83 pitches coming into this inning, so he still could be good for the final 2. That one gets away. 2 balls and no strikes. Sisk, the third baseman, is officially 1 for 1. He's got an RBI, he's scored a run, and he's walked. That one right down in there for strike 1. We're now beginning to feel the gust of wind coming back in our direction here in our media room. That one's high for ball 3. Bases on balls have been the death knell for both of these teams today, and there goes another one. So that will send Sisk down to first with his second walk of the day. And that brings up Alec Hardy, the second baseman. Hardy is 1 for 2. He scored a run, has an RBI, and he has walked as well. Bulldogs would like to get base runners any way they can at this point because they're having to play from behind for the first time in this contest. And if they could make Whitley throw a lot of pitches in this inning, it could be another big factor. That one is a high fly ball. The right fielder is coming in and shaded under it and takes it for out number 1. Only had to go about 5 steps, did Burrell, to come up with that snag. So 1 out for the Bulldogs. And here is Ross, who had a 2-run homer over the right field wall earlier. Boy, Union would love to see him do that again. A ball and no strikes. The left-hander showed plenty of power with that one because it easily trailed over the right center field wall. A ball and a strike. You can probably hear that wind kicking up again in the background. And the pitch, and that one is going to be fouled down just beyond the Bulldog bullpen. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out, and a man on first. And the pitch. And he struck him out, trying to get down to second, and threw him out for a double play. So the Bulldogs got a man on, but then the strikeout into a double play, and the 6th is over. So for the Bulldogs, it was no runs, no hits, no errors. They had 1 man on with a walk, and no one left on base. So we have completed 6. It is Delta State 8, Union 6.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
You trade in your car. You trade in your house. So why not get some equity back from your old HVAC system? McCoy's Heating and Air will now give you up to $2,000 trade-in for your old unit. Plus a free 10-year parts and labor warranty with the purchase of a qualifying York system. That's right. Trade in your old unit and get up to $2,000. Plus a free 10-year parts and labor warranty. For a limited time, only from McCoy's Heating and Air.
Ryan Evans stays on the mound for Union. And Delta State now playing with a 2-run, it's hard to say a cushion, but without question, after trailing most of the game and then putting 5 up on the boards in the 6th. They certainly are playing with a lot more confidence. And it is Newsom, the designated hitter. He is 1 for 2. He's scored a run. He's walked and struck out once. And the line of the pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1. It just seemed like an avalanche of walks in the 6th inning, and there were 5 of them. And that led to Union's undoing as 5 runs crossed the plate for Delta State. So the key point here now for Evans is to hold it at this point and give Union an opportunity to tie it or win it in the 7th. And there you go. As a base hit, he went right with it. Goes into left field. So that is Newsom's 2nd hit of the day, and Hickman will come up. The catcher is officially 0 for 1, but he has scored a run and walked twice. He struck out once. Hickman is a junior. Nobody out, 1 on. He fires quickly to first and easily back in as Newsom. And that one's down low. A ball and no strikes. Third baseman Coleman has been the offensive standout. He's 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs for Delta State. 2 balls and no strikes. And remember, the second half of this doubleheader will come your way about 30 minutes after this game is completed. And we'll have it for you right here on the Bulldog Network. 2 balls and a strike. Evans trying to hold on to it. And that one's outside. 3 balls and a strike. Bulldog pitchers threw 47 pitches in that 6th inning alone. Outside for a ball. So that is the 3rd walk of the game for Hickman, and that brings up the shortstop, Taylor Woodcock.
Now batting the shortstop, number 3, Taylor Woodcock.
Woodcock today is 0 for 2, but he scored a run. He got on base with a walk and scored. And that was during that 5-run rally in the 6th inning. And that gets away from the catcher, and that's going to move both runners up to 2nd and 3rd. And just incidents like that have just led to this game falling apart for Union, even though they're still only 2 down. But nobody out. And it's now 8 runs on 8 hits for the Statesman. And the pitch. He went around on it. A ball and a strike. Runners on 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. This would be a huge opportunity for insurance for Delta State. And that one right down in there for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Evans to the wind. And the pitch. And struck him out. That is the 7th strikeout by Union pitchers today. And that gets back up to the top of the order for Wes Warnock, the center fielder. 1 for 2. He scored 2 runs. He has an RBI, and he's walked twice. Outside for a ball. So Warnock has been a real steady performer all day long for the Statesman. McCauley, the second baseman, would be next. And that one, a hard hit ball to first base. That keeps the runners on. They can't advance. And nice job on snagging that one at first by Ross. So there's 1 out. McCauley is officially 0 for 3, but he has scored 2 runs. And he has an RBI. And that one's in there for a strike. Well, Evans gaining a little more confidence. He's a junior. He has a brother who's a sophomore who is also a right-handed pitcher for the Bulldogs. That one outside, a ball and a strike. 8-6 on the basis of a 5-run rally. Union had a lead of 6-1. That gets away, and it's going to be hard to get the runner, and he scores. So Newsom comes in, and the other runner advances to third, and it is now a 9-6 game. Union had a lead of 6-1 going in to the 5th inning, gave up 2, and then that 5-run nightmare of a 6th inning has made it now a 9-6 game. And that one is going to be a hard hit ball right back through the middle, and another run comes home, and McCauley delivers his second RBI of the afternoon. It's 10-6 Delta State. So the runner now at first, and here comes Burrell. 0 for 3, but he has an RBI. He has also walked. McCauley is at first, and that one down low and outside for a ball. Boy, this 6th and 7th inning seems like it has taken as long as the rest of the game has. That one's up high for ball 2. So it has been a tale of 2 games this afternoon. The first 5 innings belonging to the Bulldogs, and then the 6th and 7th monumentally in the favor of the Statesmen. 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. And the pitch. Down low, 3 balls and a strike. And the wind, the pitch. And that one is going to center field, right to the center fielder. He didn't have to take any steps. It was snagged by Autry for out number 3. So 2 more insurance runs come in for Delta State, and they lead it 10-6 as we go to the bottom of the 7th.
The award-winning BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. Over 750,000 views in 2023. We're where you need to advertise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join over 4,500 subscribers watching local sports. The Jackson Rockabillies, Union University, Bethel, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, Sacred Heart, and Peabody. Multi-camera broadcasts, slow-motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. The BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. The premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Well, Cade Whitley is going to try to take it home here in the 7th inning. He has carried it all the way since 2 were out in the 1st inning when he came in relief of starter Christian Clayson. And his job, frankly, was to wait. He gave up 3 runs himself in the 4th, but he just waited on his teammates to rally. And Barrett, the designated hitter, is at the plate. Ball and a strike. Union needs 4 to extend this game. and went right off the pitcher's glove. It's going to be a hard throw. He gets over there, and he's safe. That one was a hard hit ball that went off the glove of Whitley, and it's an infield hit. You'll take any way you can get them. And that brings up Elijah Ramsey, the left fielder. Today, 0 for 2. He does have an RBI. He struck out once. That was Union's 4th hit of the game. You'd like to be able to get a cluster of base runners here in the 7th. And the pitch, it's a high fly ball, left fielder not having to trail much, and gets under it and takes it. Dindy gets it for out number 1. Caden Cottrell comes in as a pinch hitter for the Bulldogs. He's a junior. Cottrell is from Hendersonville. He went to Beach High School. And let's see if he can deliver something here as we have 1 out in the 7th. And the pitch, it's the inside corner for strike 1. You can see a few more shadows on the field, particularly the light shadowing over on the right-hand side of the infield. And that one is a bouncing ball to the shortstop. He fires on to first and gets him for out number 2. The runner advances to second. And that brings up Barrett, the shortstop, who is 0 for 2 today. He struck out once. So Whitley looking to pick up the victory. On deck is Autry. And that one right down in there for strike 1. 2 down in the 7th. Delta State on top 10-6. 10 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors for Union. 6 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. And there is a base hit that drops into left field. Runners are going to be at first and third. So a nice job of going with the pitch for Barrett. And Autry, so far today, he is 0 for 3, but he has a walk and he has scored a run. He has stolen 2 bases. That was a big catalyst in the 3-run first inning for the Bulldogs, as he stole both second and third in that inning. And the pitch went around on it for strike 1. Runners on first and third. Whitley has thrown more than 100 pitches this afternoon, but he has held up well. Fires to first. Runner gets back easily. The wind and the pitch. Went around on it again. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here's the stretch. Fires back to first again, and runner easily there. The stretch. The pitch. Struck him out. And that wraps it up. Delta State with a big, big rally. in the 5th, 6th, and 7th, but particularly headlined by that 5-run 6th inning. Defeats Union 10-6.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
When you hear our name, know that it comes with a promise to give back to the community that built us, a promise to provide a human touch in a world that is becoming more automated. Ever since we put our roots down in Jackson in 1996, we have aspired to be community-focused by supporting programs and organizations that are important to our city. At First Bank, it is our mission to be present in our community and to continue the belief that when you bank local, you get more. Member FDIC.
Well, I have to correct myself. We're going a full 9 with this one instead of 7. So it's not over yet for Bulldog fans or for Delta State. 10-6 as we go to the top half of the 8th inning. 10 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for Delta State. 6 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Union. Evans continues on the mound for the Bulldogs, but they've seen 9 runs come in for the Statesmen in the previous 3 innings.
Now catching for Union number 28, Caden Cottrell. Now batting for Delta State, the third baseman number 14, Dylan Coleman.
Dylan Coleman, the third baseman. He is 3 for 3, 2 RBIs, and he reached base with a base on balls. He scored a run. 0-1. The wind and the pitch. Hard hit ball into left field for a base hit. Coleman down at first, and Dendy, the left fielder, will check in. Dendy is 2 for 4 this afternoon. He's 1 for 4. He has 2 RBIs, and he has a strikeout. And this game potentially looks like it could be going 3 full hours, which increases the likelihood that we will be playing the end of Game 2 under the lights. Sunset scheduled around 5:45 this afternoon in Jackson, Tennessee, as we get ever near just 2 weekends away from when we go back to daylight savings time, and it can't come fast enough for me or my compadre Billy Bolin. Billy is a huge advocate of daylight savings time. I'm not sure if he knew that until now, but he is. Oh my goodness, 2 balls and 1 strike. Billy's on camera for us right now, and we've had a good rotation today of our crew from Worthy Road Studios and from the BallGame Blitz Sports Network. And the pitch, and that one is fouled off just beyond the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out and a runner on for Delta State. And they turned this game around and blew it open in that 6th inning as they dealt with 5 Union walks. Just missed. No, he called him out. That's another one of those delayed calls, and so that is out number one. And that is the 8th strikeout for Union pitchers. And here is Jones, Braden Jones, the first baseman. Jones is 1 for 4 today. He struck out twice, and he's stolen a base. A ball and no strikes. That one is high for ball 2. I tell you what, these fans have been troopers out here this afternoon in this extremely chilly weather. And here's the pitch. High bouncing ball, up high to pick it up, to second for 1, to first. It's a double play. Bulldogs doing a tremendous job defensively to end that inning. So it was no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. It is Delta State still on top, 10-6.
Are you looking for a Christian college or are starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
For the bottom half of the 8th inning, Delta State leading Union 10-6 after the Bulldogs were up 6-1 in the 4th inning. And Whitley continues on the mound. He has thrown 105 pitches since he came in with 2 outs in the 1st inning, but he's continued to be effective. So they have continued, Rodney Batts and his staff have continued to feel very confident in his efforts. And Chavies comes to the plate, 0 for 2 officially, but he scored 2 runs, walked twice, struck out twice, and he has had really a lot to do with the Bulldogs offense in the early part of this game. And that one in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Whitley's job is basically to continue what he's been doing, and it's just being steady. And he has held Union scoreless since the 3 runs in the 4th inning. And the wind and the pitch, a little bit high and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sisk is scheduled up, and then Hardy in this inning. That's outside, 3 balls and a strike. Seen a fair turnout of folks who have made their way up from Mississippi for this one, and many of them parents or other interested parties of the players from Delta State, and it's good to have them in Jackson this afternoon as the walk sends Chavies down to first. Here's Mitch Sisk, officially 1 for 1, 2 walks. He scored a run and has a run batted in. And the pitch to Misk. Mitch watches it as it goes just a little bit inside. A ball and no strikes. Got a runner down at first with nobody out. And if you're a Union fan, this is a time for a late rally. That one inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Whitley's thrown a lot more pitches in this inning than we've seen him in the most recent ones. He's up to 110 pitches on his pitch count, but 64 of them have been for strikes. And that one is fouled way out of play to the right. Two balls and 1 strike. And that one's tap foul just down the third base line. Two balls and 2 strikes to Mitch Sisk. And the wind, the 2-2. And it goes down to the dirt. He struck out. They're going to try to get him down at second, but no success. And so he struck out, but he reached down to first on the drop ball. Well, now he's trotting all the way back. Apparently, they are ruling that it looked like the catcher did not hold on to the ball, but in fact it is out number 1. Runner did advance to second. And there's one right to the second baseman, and fortunately, Sisk managed to make it back to second. And that's going to bring up Ross. Hardy hit that one a ton, but it was just right to the second baseman. Ross is 1 for 3. He's had 3 RBIs for the Bulldogs today. He has walked once, struck out once, and scored a run. And everybody comes in to have a conference. And they want to be sure that Whitley is still okay. Ross has a 2-run homer that he hit earlier today, and they want to be sure that got the runner on second. They want to be sure that they know exactly how they want to pitch to him, because he laced into one and that was when Whitley was in the game. He gave up one that went soundly over the right center field wall. And that was back in the 4th inning. He's got 3 RBIs on the day. But everybody seems to be in one accord, and Whitley is headed back to the mound. It wouldn't surprise me if he stays in for the rest of this inning with the number of pitches he's thrown. He would not surprise me if they bring in a reliever in the 9th to try to save it. Ross went around on it, and you could tell he was wanting to go for the downs, but it's an 0-1 count. And he drives that one to the second baseman, who's going to fire on to first for out number 3. Hard hit ball, but it was, again, excellent fielding on the part of McCauley, and he tossed him out. So it was no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and one man left on base. And so we have completed 8. Delta State still with a 10-6 lead.
Your life. Your home.
Your business. Your future.
Focusing on you, West Tennessee Bank strives to serve its clients in every season of life. With vast experience in personal and business banking, we take pride in guiding you through significant events. At West Tennessee Bank, we help you realize your dreams.
West Tennessee Bank is a division of Decatur County Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. West Tennessee Bank, focused on you.
Can I get some help? What just happened?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Ryan Evans back in to pitch for the Bulldogs. This is his 3rd inning of work.
Now batting the DH number 34, Eric Newsom.
Designated hitter Eric Newsom, the sophomore, is at the plate, and we're in the top half of the 9th inning. That one's outside for a ball. Delta State has just been playing with calm assurance since that 5-run rally in the 6th inning. That one hit the outside corner for strike 2. Strike 1. A ball and a strike. And that one hit the corner again. A ball and 2 strikes. Newsom today, 2 for 3. He's had 2 runs. He's had a walk, and he struck out once. And that one outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tried to get him to chase one, and he wasn't buying into that one. And it looks like this game is going to hit the 3-hour mark. That one. And he timed that one perfectly, and it got into the left field shallow period and managed to get a base hit out of that one. So Newsom delivers again. Here's Tristan Hickman. And Hickman has had an interesting day. Officially 0 for 1, but he's walked 3 times and scored twice. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner come in. And that is Austin Estes. He is a sophomore. He's a reserve outfielder, and so Estes is going to come in and pinch run. So here is Hickman, and he's got a fast man down there at first base, no question about it. And that one just fouled just outside the third base line. No balls and a strike. Hickman has a good eye at the plate, and he's going to send that one to the shortstop. He's going to have to fire long to first. The big stretch, and they got him. And you can see him jumping up and down over there on the side. And I don't think Hickman thought that that throw beat him, but the umpire says, nope, you're out. 1 out. Woodcock, the shortstop, and today he's officially 0 for 3, but he has scored a run and walked. Ball and no strikes with a runner on second and 1 out. And getting a little bit more shadowy on the field here at Union University. That one's low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. This is a place that just 16 years ago this month was ravaged by an EF4 tornado that almost destroyed this entire campus. And it made a miraculous comeback in a period of a few short months. 2-1 the count. And the wind and the pitch. And a beautiful curveball for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Many people who live in neighborhoods near the Union campus literally watched outside of their windows or their doors and saw as that massive storm struck this entire area. And that hit him, and so he goes down to first. Runners on first and second, and 1 out. That was a Tuesday night at 7 o'clock when that happened, and you had a triage that was set up. 53 students at Union University were injured, and by what so many of us believe was the providence of God, nobody was killed. But it was a harrowing and frightening night for all of the student body on this campus. And even though it has been more than a decade and a half, it is a time that anytime there is a warning of severe weather, particularly a tornado watch, the antenna go up around this area because of what happened at Union University on that particular February night. That's a foul ball, just bent foul at the last couple of flights of the ball. Ball and a strike, as our friend Milo Hamilton, the late Milo Hamilton, used to say, is just a long strike. 10 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for Delta State, 6-5-1 for Union. And that one is going right up the middle. Nice job of the shortstop saving that one, and it's a double play. They go on to first with it. An excellent job by Barrett, who slid in there and managed to snag it and fired it to the second baseman and on to first for out number 3. So we got to go get 'em dogs. It's 10-6 Delta State as we go to the bottom of the 9th.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
You trade in your car. You trade in your house. So why not get some equity back from your old HVAC system? McCoy's Heating and Air will now give you up to $2,000 trade-in for your old unit. Plus a free 10-year parts and labor warranty with the purchase of a qualifying York system. That's right. Trade in your old unit and get up to $2,000. Plus a free 10-year parts and labor warranty. For a limited time, only from McCoy's Heating and Air.
guess was right. Delta State is going to the bullpen with left-handed junior Duke Jordan, and he will attempt to save it for Whitley. Whitley went, we got to count this thing right to be absolutely sure. He went 7 1/3 innings. And after that 3-run first inning, and he came in and inherited 2 men on base, managed to get Union out in that inning, and then ended up, he gave up 3 more runs in the 4th, and it looked dire for Delta State. They were down 6-1. But aside from that, he shut out Union in every other inning. So now it is up to Jordan for the save. Ten runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for Delta State. 6 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Union. Grant Ross for Union had a home run back in the 4th inning. And leading off here in the 9th is Blake Barrett, the designated hitter. Barrett 1 for 3 today. He has also walked. And Union needs to get everybody on they possibly can, and that one is a strike on the outside corner. We don't know a lot about Jordan's totals, but this is one situation where he usually thrives and wants the ball in an opportunity to make a save out of the bullpen. A ball and a strike. And the wind and the pitch. Inside, almost hit him. 2 balls and a strike to Barrett. Ramsey and Smith are scheduled up next, although Cottrell has been in at catcher. He came in to pinch hit and went around on that, tapped it foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Union has left 11 runners on base today, Delta State 9. And the pitch, high fly ball. That must be a mile in the air. And it is the third baseman who comes down with it, Coleman. That thing looked as though it may never come down, and it finally did for out number 1. And here's Jake Cale, the pinch hitter. I saw his mom exiting the stadium a little bit earlier. I know he has a brother who plays for USJ in basketball, and he has had the stomach virus this week. That one's high, ball 1. Jake played his high school ball at Sacred Heart of Jesus High School right here in Jackson, Tennessee. 2 balls and no strikes. And his brother Sam Cale had some excellent outings this year for University School of Jackson on the basketball court. Here's the 2-0 pitch. 3 balls and no strikes. So Jake will probably be taking this pitch all the way. And they fire it right down the middle, but they say it was low, so that's ball 4, and so Jake walks on 4 pitches. So Jake Cale down at first. And here's Cottrell, the catcher, who came in the previous inning as a pinch hitter. And right now, you don't look for sacrifices, anything, just whatever you can do to try to get somebody else on base. And Barrett, the shortstop, is scheduled next. And that one's in there for strike one. Duke Jordan seems to be fully confident despite the walk to Jake Cale. And the left-hander delivers. High for ball one. Once again, Jordan looking the runner over at first. And the pitch. Inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the wind. The pitch. And that one's on the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cottrell. Been a tough afternoon for the Bulldog bullpen, and Delta State's bullpen has been extraordinarily strong today. And that one's going to be tapped to the pitcher. He's going to have to go to first and nails him there for out number 2. So that brings up Dylan Barrett, the shortstop, the last hope for the Bulldogs in this one, with a runner on second, Jake Cale. Two down. Barrett today is 1 for 3. He struck out once. And that one goes right down the middle, but it was up high for a ball. And we're beginning to feel that wind whip in again this direction, that northwest wind that has been so strong most of the day. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch. That's high, 2 balls and a strike. Jordan trying to get the save for Whitley. And that's in there for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Cale down at second. This is the pitch that he wants it to happen on. And he fires. That one is fouled back. Well, apparently they said that it was strike 3 and it got away from the catcher. So there are runners on first and third for Union. And that will bring up now Will Allen Smith, a pinch hitter. He went to Trinity Christian Academy here in Jackson. He's a sophomore with runners at first and third and 2 out here in the 9th. And that one's right down the middle for strike 1. Jordan is keeping his composure well, despite the fact that he's got 2 runners to navigate on the base paths. And that one's up high, a ball and a strike. Union has had 12 base on balls today, 12 bases on balls, but except for the first and the 4th innings, they haven't been able to capitalize on them. And that one gets down low just away from the catcher. 2 balls and 1 strike. So Bulldogs still hanging in with this one with runners on first and third. And the pitch to Smith. That's up high. 3 balls and a strike. You could sense a little bit of frustration on Jordan because he thought he had it going one way and the ball went in an opposite direction. So it's 3-1 with 2 out and runners on the corners. And that one's in there. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We've gone full. And here we go. This is the payoff pitch. And this could be your ball game right here. 3-2. And Duke Jordan delivers. Runner goes. And it is a walk, so you have the bases loaded for the Bulldogs with 2 out.
Now coming to the plate for the Bulldogs, the right fielder, number 19, Dorsett Chavis.
So Chavis comes to the plate officially 0 for 2, but he's walked 3 times and scored 2 runs. And looks like Rodney Batts is coming out to talk to the umpire, and he may be making a pitching change. They're going to have a conference at the mound. And with the bases loaded, there's going to be a conference as the base runners come over to talk to the Union Brain Trust. And we'll see if they're actually going to take him out here, if they're going to leave him in one more time and perhaps just trying to settle him down at this point. And you've got the center fielder and the right fielder having their own conference. They can't really talk about where they're going to have dinner tonight because of the fact that they got another whole game to play after this one, so they're going to leave him in. Jordan will stay in. And Chavis, this is a big one for him. He's walked 3 times, and there's no place to put him. And Union desperately trying to stay alive, down 10-6 after leading 6-1 at the end of the 4th inning. Here's Jordan. That's up high for a ball. You somewhat sense that if he does not get Chavis to end the game, that this may be it for him. And he fires, and that's in there for a strike. A ball and a strike. Still 2 out. And bases loaded for the Bulldogs. Jordan winds and delivers. Just missed with that one. 2 balls and a strike. He doesn't want to go 3-1 on him at this stage of the game. Jordan delivers once again. Up high, 3 balls and 1 strike. If Chavis gets on and a run comes in, then it would be Sisk next. I'd love to get it down to give Grant Ross another shot. Jordan delivers. It's in there. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So we're coming down once again to a payoff pitch. The runners are taking their lead. You would expect them to advance with this pitch. Here's the payoff. And that's going to go into left field, and they get back into second. 2 runs come in for the Bulldogs. Barrett comes in. Jake Cale comes in. And so it is a 10-8 game. And we'll see if we see any sign from the – they're going to send a pinch runner in, and that's going to be Colby Davis. He's a junior from Hoover, Alabama, near Birmingham, and I think this is going to be it for Duke Jordan. So the bases got loaded, and then there came the two-run single as Chavy's delivered. So it's a 10-8 game, and there will be two Bulldogs on first and second. And we're going to have a call to the bullpen. We'll come back and tell you who's on the mound right after this.
The award-winning BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. Over 750,000 views in 2023. We're where you need to advertise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join over 4,500 subscribers watching local sports. The Jackson Rockabillys, Union University, Bethel, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, Sacred Heart, and Peabody. Multi-camera broadcasts, slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. The BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. The premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
So, in from the bullpen, it's the fourth pitcher of the afternoon for Delta State. This is Josh Hill. He is a junior right-hander. And he inherits a situation where Union has two runs in and runners on first and second as the Bulldogs try desperately to get this one back to a tie or perhaps even a win. They led 6-1 at the end of 4 innings of play, and then all of a sudden the 5th, 6th, and 7th went completely in the opposite direction. 2 runs in the 5th, 5 runs in the 6th, 2 runs in the 7th. Those 3 innings, 9 runs came across the plate for the Statesmen as they took the lead 10-6, and Union finally fighting back with 2 more here in the 9th. A 10-8 game, and folks, I'll remind you again, after this one is over, and we have been going at it 3 hours and 14 minutes. This is longer than most Major League Baseball games. We will be taking about a 30-minute break, and then we'll come back with the second half of this doubleheader, which I can relatively assure you that the latter part of it will be played under the lights. And in the cold, and it will be even colder than it is right now, and my crew here is just being so enthusiastic and positive in reminding me of that. Mitch Sisk to the plate, 1 for 2 with an RBI and 2 walks. So Josh Hill now trying to get the save. And the pitch, that's fouled back way behind our press box. No balls and a strike. Union now with 8 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. And the pitch. The runners are moving. And they get away, and that's going to get away from him. He's going to come in and score, and another runner moves up to third. Outstanding base running on the part of the Bulldogs. And coming in to score was Will Allen Smith. So the Bulldogs now have No balls and a strike and 2 outs, but they have closed it to 10-9, and there is a runner 90 feet away. And if he scores, could we be talking extra innings, guys? Here's the pitch. And he went around on it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 out. Runner at third. And it's all up to Mitch Sisk. Hill with the wind. And the pitch. And struck him out for out number 3. And the victory goes to Delta State. Union made a big rally. They had 3 runs on 1 hit. And 1 man was left on base. But the Statesmen hold on for a 10-9 victory. Union's big offensive star today, it was Grant Ross with a 2-run homer back in the 4th inning. But our player of the game would unquestionably have to be Dylan Coleman. He was 4 for 4 in the game. He had 2 RBIs and a walk, and he scored a run. And he was absolutely perfect from the plate. Also had great help from Newsom, 3 for 4 he was. And so your final score is Delta State 10, Union 9. But that is not all of it for this afternoon. We're going to be back with you again in about 30 minutes as we come back with the second half of today's doubleheader, as the Bulldogs fall to 7-7, 2-3 in the Gulf South Conference. Delta State 8-5 and 2-0. So we got more baseball to come. Everybody get something out of the refrigerator, and I won't say go outside for a little bit and enjoy this beautiful weather, because you'll probably freeze to death if you do. But nonetheless, we'll be back in about 30 minutes and bring you the second half of this doubleheader between Delta State and Union. Until then, I'm Steve Beverly saying so long from the great hub city of West Tennessee.